That's it. So coming to a lying down position, we're working with Muladhara chakra today, which is the root chakra. So if you can bring your feet to the floor, quite near to your bottom if you can, and have a little bit of a space between your knees, but not too wide a space. If you put your hands on the bones of your hips, you want them about that distance apart. Good, lovely. And I'm going to have a
don't know. I don't know if you can hear me. I can't hear anything at all. So I can't do the class. Really, yeah, sorry. I've tried everything. I don't know if you can.
I'm going to let Mindy know that we're recording it.
I have to try and sort this out with Zoom, because I don't know. There's something wrong with my Zoom, my computer. I don't know. I'll see you next week. I can't get this to work. I'll try. I'll turn it off and again and see.
Yeah.
Okay. Never mind. Bye.
Okay. Bye. Okay, so just allowing the knees to rock from side to side. And if you've got somebody next to you in the room, see if you can coordinate your knees so that they don't knock into one another. So maybe breathe into the middle, breathe out to the left. Breathe into the middle and breathe out to the left. If you haven't got anyone else in the room with you, then that's fine. You can rock your knees from side to side in your own way. Just I can see Nick and Caroline, so I just want to make sure that you're not going to bump into one another. So just using that movement to release out the back. Bringing the knees to the middle, rocking them to one side, back to the middle and over to the other side. See if you can keep the feet on the floor. That's it. A nice space between your knees. So nice space between your feet too, so the feet aren't touching each other. Releasing out the back. Good, lovely. And then bring your knees in towards your tummy. And have a little hold on with the shins. And stay in the middle. So we're not rocking from side to side. And just notice your breathing. See if you can breathe in. You might be able to feel your breath in your thighs, you might not. But really hugging in here. Good, that's it. Giving yourself a really nice hug. You might even want to cross over your arms so that you can really hug right in. And then bring your hands so that they're on the caps of your knees. And as you breathe in, let the knees come away from you. And as you breathe out, bring the knees back into your tummy. So breathing in, the knees come away. And breathing out, the knees come back to your tummy. Releasing on the in-breath. Coming in on the out-breath. That's it. Working with the movement of the knees with the breath. Now that's it, staying with that. And then keep the hands on the caps of the knees. And you're going to draw tiny little circles with the knees. Keep the knees together, keep the feet together. And draw really small circles with your knees, really tiny little circles. And then let the circles get bigger and bigger and bigger until you're drawing really big circles with the knees. And then let those circles get smaller and smaller, all going in the same direction, until you're once again drawing tiny little circles with the knees. And then you're going to go back the other way, starting with tiny circles. Let those circles get bigger and bigger and bigger, until you're drawing really big circles with the knees. And then allowing those circles to get smaller and smaller, until you're drawing tiny little circles with the knees. And then you're going to bring your feet to the floor. Bring your feet to the floor, hip width apart, so not so wide. Caroline, you might want to bring your feet a little bit closer towards each other. That's it. And really plant your feet so you can really feel your feet are firm into the floor. And then roll your head from side to side. Just rolling your head to the left, back to the center, to the right, and back to the center without placing it in any way. Just rolling your head to the left, back to the center, rolling your head to the right and back to the center. And then roll your head to the left and take your left hand to the right side of your neck and give yourself a massage here. Just massaging that down. And then coming back to the center line. Turning your head to the right, taking your right hand to the left side of the neck and massaging there. So releasing out the neck here. And then allowing the head to come back to the center line. And then you're going to lift the right leg up into the sky. If you need to hold behind the thigh, then do. Stretch that leg all the way up towards the sky, stretching the heel away too. Doesn't matter if the knee's bent, that's completely fine, but you're aiming to stretch the heel all the way up to the sky. Good, lovely. And then circle the ankle. You're circling the ankle one way. Great. There you go. I can see most people's feet. And then circling back the other way. Good, lovely. So with your hand behind your thigh, so put your hand, hold that leg up with the hand behind the thigh, below the knee. So you're not right at the knee joint, you're a little bit below the knee joint. And then feel the weight of your leg into your hand. So let the weight of the leg go into your hand. Good, if you stretch that leg up towards the sky. Really good, lovely. Keep both buttocks on the floor. Good, lovely, really nice. And then bring the knee right into your tummy. And hold over the shin. Bring right and hold over the shin. Give yourself a hug in there. Point the toes up towards the sky. Good, lovely. And then stretch that leg up towards the sky again. So stretch that leg up towards the ceiling. Good, lovely. Hold behind the thigh. Have a really nice stretch away. That's right. Good stuff. And then bring that leg in. Hug over the shin. That's it. Good. Hug all the way in. Really nice. Good. And just continue in that way. Do 3 or 4 more in that way. Really good. Lovely. That's it. Hugging in. Stretching away. Really good. That's it. Maybe 1 more in that way. And then lift that leg up into the sky. And if it feels okay, give it a waggle. So waggle it around. That's it. You can keep holding on behind the thigh if you want to. If it feels okay to let go, then let go and have a waggle with letting go. That's it. Good, lovely. And then point the toes up towards the sky. Good, lovely. And then let go if it feels okay. Can you lower that leg all the way down to the floor? Can you straighten it out and lower it to the floor? Does that feel okay? Good, lovely. With the foot nice and relaxed, if that feels okay to do. Good, lovely. And then can you lift that leg back up into the sky? Hannah, if you need to hold on at any time, you just hold on to that leg. Only do what feels okay. I can kind of see you waggling there. That's it. And then lowering that leg down towards the floor. Good, lovely. And just do that 1 or 2 more times, lengthening up to the sky and then coming down to the floor. Good, lovely. With the foot nice and relaxed, keep the foot really soft and easy. Good, lovely. And then bring that foot to the floor. Bring that foot forward. Just body, that's it, good behind the thigh. lifting the other leg up towards the sky and hold behind the thigh. That's it, good, lovely. Stretch that heel up towards the sky. Stretching that heel away. Good, lovely. And then circling that ankle. Good, really nice. Just circling the ankle one way and circling it back the other way. Can you do that without the leg moving too much? Really feel the movement in the from the ankle. That's it, good, lovely. Good, excellent. And then allow that to stop and get your thigh to push into your hand. So you're pushing your thigh into your hand and at the same time, pull the hands in towards you. So you can kind of feel like your thigh is going away from you and your hands are pulling in, getting a really nice stretch through. Good, lovely. Okay, and then stretch the heel up towards the sky. And then take the height, hug that in towards you, holding on the shin. So hugging all the way in, that's it. Good, keep that heel alive and stretching away. That's it, good, lovely. Stretching the leg up towards the ceiling, up towards the sky, good, lovely, holding behind the thigh. And then moving so that you're hugging that knee in. Good, lovely. Stretching up towards the sky and hugging the knee in. Good, really lovely. And one more time, stretching that leg up towards the sky. Good, and hugging the knee in. Good, lovely. And then lengthen that leg up towards the sky. Give it a waggle if you can. So you can hold behind the thigh if you need to, that's no problem. And then if you can, let go and let the leg lengthen out all the way down to the floor. Good, with the foot nice and relaxed. Good, nice easy leg. And then lifting that leg all the way back up towards the sky. Good, lovely. And again, all the way down to the floor. Back up to the sky. Lovely, and then bring the knees into the tummy, have a rock from side to side. Good, and then roll all the way over to one side and come onto all fours. You're coming onto all fours. That's it, knees hip width apart, elbows facing each other. So you want your middle finger facing forward and the inside of your elbows facing each other. So Nick, if you look down, look at your elbows, you want your elbows to face each other, the inside. So I don't want to be able to see them. I can see them. That's it, yeah. Without the hands moving. So the middle finger faces forward, so yeah, that's it. You want a little bit of a bend in the elbow. So hands facing, hands like this, hands forward, not hands in. That's it. And the elbow, so a little bit of a bend will allow the elbows to face each other. I'm a bit too high up on my phone. Hopefully, that's it. Good. There you go. Okay, so like this. And then have your normal wiggle. So wiggle around. Now the neck to move, the shoulders. Have a little wiggle around in your bottom. So having a really nice move around. Let the neck wiggle. That's it. Rock forward. Just having a really lovely wiggle around. That's it. Good. Let the neck and shoulders move. Maybe imagine that you're walking down the street with your shoulders. If that's not okay for your elbows, your wrists rather go down onto your elbows. And have a little walk. There. So it's fine, the hands forward a little. And then from here, you're going to take one leg back and have a little stretch into your heels. So your foot's on the floor, and you can see my foot there, and you're rolling forward and backwards on the heel. Rolling forward. You can have the elbows down to do this. There's no need to have the hands up like this. You can have the elbows down. So you're rolling forward and backwards. Hopefully you can see my foot. Rolling forward and backwards. And get a real stretch when you go backwards. You want to get a really nice stretch backwards so you can feel it in your heel and in your back calf. That's it. You can feel it in your heel and in your back calf. And then come back. And then the other foot comes back and you're rolling forward and backwards. You're rolling forward and backwards. That's it. You're getting a really nice movement in the foot. And then when you stretch back, you can really feel it in the heel. That's it, good, lovely. Rolling forward and backwards. Good. Enjoying that stretch. So you've got elbows down, you can really let your head go down, really nice stretch. Go in all fours. So have another little wheel around. We have an article of the hips. And then you're going to keep your feet nice and wide. Feet nice and wide. I'm just going to tip myself up a bit. Feet nice and wide in standing position like normal. I'm going to really feel into my feet. Don't worry if I can't see your head. That's fine. So long as you can see me and you can follow me, that's completely fine. We're going to rock forwards and backwards on our feet. You can rock forward. See how far forward you go before you need to just take a step. And rocking back right into the heel. See if you can take your toes off the floor. If you're at home, you might have something that you can touch to help you balance. But see if you can be freestanding as you roll from your heels to your toes. We're not coming right up into the toes yet. We're just rocking forward and backwards. That's it. And then come to the middle line. See whether you can take your toes off the floor. I know that's not easy for everyone. And then come up and see if you can come up onto your toes. So if you need to hold on to something to help you come up onto your toes, then use something like a wall or something to help you come up onto your toes. And then see if you can bend your knees a little bit. Look after your knees if you need to. And then stand up and then see if you can bring your heels back down. When you come up onto your toes, you want to imagine that you're being lifted up from the top of your head. So you could pat the top of your head and then imagine that sweet spot there. And you can imagine you're being lifted up from there. And when you come up, see, oh, I'm having a wobble. See if you can feel your tummy going a bit. And lift from the bottom. And even using your buttocks as well to help you stay there. And you can have your arms also to help you balance. And come back down. You can always be rocking up and down, but if you choose to, you can see whether you can come up and stay there for a bit. See if you can get a little bit of a bend in the knees. What happens if you bring these bottom muscles towards each other? Bring these muscles back. So having a little rock up and down. Good, lovely. Little rock up and down. Okay, and then come to standing and see if you can bring your weight to one leg and circle the other ankle. If you can take the foot off the floor to circle it, then do. If not, then circle it on the floor like this. So see if you can circle one ankle and see if you can circle it back the other way. And then put it down. Good, lovely. I can see some feet off the floor. And then the other side, circling the ankle one way. Good, and then circling it back the other way. It doesn't matter if you keep on bringing the foot to the floor, that's completely fine. Good. That's it, lovely. Don't worry too much about how much I can see of you, Brian. So long as you can follow, that's fine. And then once again, come back to the floor and have a little rock forward and backwards. And then come to the middle line. We're going to bring our attention to our shoulders and bring our shoulders all the way in, up to our ears, round and back. In, up to the ears, round and back. Good, really big. It doesn't matter if you go slowly or faster. You just want to get a real movement, a real rounding. Let the arms be part of the movement as well. You're rolling up, down and round. Good, lovely. And then you're going to go back the other way, rolling down, back the other way. Just checking something. And rolling back the other way. Rolling the shoulders forward. Good, lovely. Then take the hands, take them to your neck and massage down. You're massaging from the top of your neck all the way down. That's it. Good. Take your hands away and give them a shake. If you're feeling that that's too strong, just give them a real gentle shake. But if you can give them a stronger shake, then do. Just notice how your fingers and your hands are feeling. And if you can shake them all the way out, then do. If you need to be gentler, then be gentler. Have a real shake out of the arms and the shoulders. Good. And then place the hands on your shoulders. And we're going to do the same movement, but it's bigger now. The elbows, if you can get them to come all the way in, if you can get them to go to the sky, round and down. So bigger circles now. All the way around. And if you want to include the breath, you can breathe in as you go up and breathe out as you come down. Allow the breath to come all the way in as you go up and all the way out as you come down. Good. Breathing here. All the way in as you come up and all the way out as you come down. That's it. And then back the other way. All the way in and forward and down. All the way in. Elbows in and down. Good, allowing everything to come all the way up and in and down. Good, and then take that away. Bring your arms all the way out and give yourself a hug round. And remember, we don't want to be holding in like that. We want to be hugging so that one arm's on top and the other arm's on the bottom. And then we're going to circle round. We're going to give ourselves a hug and just let that movement happen from left to right. Good, opening up and then closing. Good, really nice. Just rocking from side to side. Good, and then release the arms, roll the shoulders, and then hug back the other way. So rocking from side to side. Good, really releasing out in the back. And then let the hands go, have another little shake out. And we're gonna have a go with doing our front crawl. So we're gonna let one arm come back and then cut through the middle. Then the other arm comes back with the elbow bent, cutting through the middle. I can do this by sideways. Cutting through the middle, opening up And cut into the middle. If you can look at the hand as it goes back, even better. Looking back and coming through. Looking back and coming through. And that's it, all the way through. So we're opening up one side of the body, looking up, and then cutting through. Opening up the other side of the body, and then cutting through. Opening and closing. Working with the shoulders. Good. Allow yourself to look back as well. Good, lovely. And then let that go. Not going to be doing very much actual swimming at the moment. So now we're going to see if we can go backwards with that. So we're going to be doing a backward movement. We're going to lift the arm up, open it up, and come back down again. Lifting the arm up, opening up, and coming back down again. Lifting the arm up, opening up, and coming back down again. When you open up, see if you can get the body to turn and even look back with that. So you're lifting the arm up, opening and coming through. Lifting the arm up, opening and coming through. So just continuing in that way with that opening movement. Really feeling the shoulders open, the arms open, working with that. And then seeing if you can get both of the arms moving. Good, lovely. Really nice, opening up of the shoulders. And then let that go. Have a little shake out of the arms. Bring the hands up to the neck and just give yourself a nice massage here. We're going to let the arms go. And then we're going to bring our attention to our head and our face. And let the chin drop. See how many chins you can create by opening the mouth and letting the head drop. Stand up nice and tall. Creating those chins. Releasing out the back of the neck. And then lift the chin up. And if you touch the chin and the pit of the throat, you can feel the release out there. You feel that stretch in the neck. You can even stroke your beard. That's it. So stroking the beard. And then let the head go. And just release out the back of the neck. And then lifting the head up to the sky. Feeling that lovely opening up in the throat. And then letting the head go. Releasing out the back of the neck. It's like a gentle nod. But look up to the sky when you open up the throat. And then look down to the earth when you let the triple chin happen. So looking up and looking back down. And then gently come to the middle line. We're going to shake our head. It's like you're saying no. So breathing whatever way works for you. Just allowing the head to shake from side to side. No. And then let the head wobble from side to side. So it's like your left ear is going down to your left shoulder, your right ear is going down to your right shoulder, but it's just a wobble. And then come to the middle line. We're going to do a full circle, but remembering when we come to the top of the circle, we're not going further than that. We're not letting the head drop all the way back. So we're rolling the head all the way round and back down again. Allowing that release out in the neck. And then back the other way. So that you're drawing a clock face. A really nice big circle. Okay. You're going to place your hands on your hips and have a little bit of a bend in your knee. And we're going to imagine the back is like a door lever. So this is like the hinge of the door. And we're hinging down. I might be able to see some of your faces, that's it. and then you're hinging back up again. So a little bit of a bend in the knee, and you're hinging down, and then hinging back up again. So having a little play with that, hinging down, and back up again. And see whether you can do that with the breath. So breathe in when you open, breathe out as you hinge down. Make sure the back feels okay. That's it, lovely. Good, breathing in to come up, breathing out, little bend in the knee, hinging forward and down. So when you're outside of this class, you can do things like this with a kitchen table. So you can bend down, grab the kitchen table and give yourself a stretch. Okay, but at the moment, we're gonna be here with the hands on the hips, just bending and straightening up. Good, lovely. Okay, and then coming back up to standing, having a little shake out, a little wiggle at the bottom. And we're going to plant our feet. We're going to plant our feet cut like about mat width apart. I think you've all got mats, but if not, just a little bit wider than your hips. And have your hands on your hips. And we're going to really feel like the feet are weighted into the floor. And we're going to tip our bottoms back. But this time we're much more upright. That's it. And then we're going to bring the pubic bones forward. So this part comes forward. Sitting back. Good, lovely. And then tipping forward. Good. Sitting back. So you should feel your thighs working. Sitting back. Tipping forward. Good, lovely. Sitting back. Really nice. And tipping forward. Sitting back. Lovely. And tipping forward. Good stuff. One more time. Just sitting back. Good. How low can you go with that? How much work can you feel that is going on in your thighs if you sit back? So it's like a little squat that we're doing and then coming forward. And what if we work with the breath? So maybe breathe in as we squat down, breathe out, and maybe see if we can bring that tummy in as we stand up. Breathing in here. Breathing out, tipping through. Good, lovely. Releasing out. Are you finding that you can go a little bit lower or you've had enough? Okay. That's it. And then come up to standing. Have a little shake out. So you can really decide what you want to do now, depending on how your feet and your legs and your thighs are feeling. You can do hip circling that's really soft and easy. So either way, this is really, it's just a nice movement of the hips without too much going on. But if you want to work with it, you just come a bit lower and then you can feel your thighs working and your tummy working. So just decide what you feel like doing. This is really different to this. So coming down into your squat is really different to doing it from a standing position. So you can just decide what you want to do with this, how you want to work. That's it. Good. All the way one way, all the way back the other way. Good, and then come up to stand and shake it out. Stand, eh? Okay, so now we're going to bring our together. We're going to bring our palms together and we're going to do our sequence with our hands. So we're going to open our book and we're going to go back to back. Well, I'll come a bit further forward, but I think it's much easier for you to stand than it is for you to sit. And then your fingers are going to come in towards your chest. And then you're going to stretch all the way out. When you stretch out, you want your little finger to touch and your thumb to touch. Then you're going to come back and then see if you can create, we've got magnolias are finished and done now. Maybe we're tulips now. It can be a tulip. Coming back to the palms together. Opening up your book, going back to back. Scooping through. Little finger and thumb. Good, lovely. Coming down and creating your tulip. So coming into Namaste, opening up and all the way through. And then you can imagine that tulip bulb as it starts to emerge through the earth and come into flower. So there are lots of tulips now that are emerging. You can imagine that emergence, stretching through, coming down. And how would it be if you had your breath working with you? So I'm not going to tell you how to breathe, but see if there is a natural rhythm that starts to happen with the breath. So is there a natural rhythm that you're experiencing with the breath? Good. Coming into Namaste, opening up. And coming all the way through. Good. Coming into Namaste, opening up. Good, really nice. Lengthening away, coming down, and opening up. Good, and then come to Namaste, and just breathing there for a moment. Breathing there, good, lovely. Take the hands away, have a little shake, have a little release out. I'll come back up to standing, have a little wiggle. Have a little wiggle in your bottom, and just move in whatever way your body feels like it wants to move. So we've had quite a controlled breath work, and then from here, you can just have a little move around. So have a little shake around, a little move. Just being with that, shaking around, wiggling about, and then let that go. And just come to a comfortable standing position. And we're going to come into our balances now. So if you know that you need something near to you to help you balance, then have something near to you to help you balance. You're going to allow the weight to come into the right foot. So allow the weight to come into the right foot. Standing nice and tall. And allow the left foot to come off the floor. Or you can have the tips of the toes on the floor. And then see if you can put one foot on top of another foot. And then maybe bring the palms together. So see if you can stay with that. And then allow a release out. I'm going to walk a bit out. Standing nice and tall. Just allowing the weight to transfer to the other foot. And lifting that foot off the floor. Seeing whether you can lift it. Maybe placing one foot on top of the other foot. Or coming in. And then bringing the palms to Namaste. Bringing the palms together. And then allowing the hands to release all the way back down, coming to a standing position. Okay, good. We're going to come all the way to the back of our mats. Or just give yourself a little bit of a space in front of you if you aren't on a mat. And have your feet about hip width apart. and take a step forward. And when you take a step forward, you can come into your heels and then come into the front foot. So allow yourself to come into the back foot and then into the front foot. And maybe let the front knee bend when you come into the front foot. So you want to feel really nice and balanced. So you've got a nice amount of space across your hips. You're coming into your back heel and coming into your front foot. So rocking from heel to foot. From heel to foot. So hopefully you're feeling like you're getting a nice stretch in that back heel. You don't need to be stepping too far forward. It's fine just to be stepped a little way forward. Whatever allows you to balance most easily. And then allow that weight to come into the back heel and bend the front knee. And then see if you can bring your palms together. And feel the strength of that standing pose. Good, lovely, really nice. And then if you'd like to, you can bring your hands forward. And then you can turn your palms upwards. Breathing here. And then come all the way up. See if you can hold your hands behind you with both legs straight. And then can you bring your bottom back, allowing your body to come forward a little way. So feeling that stretch in the body. Good, really nice. And then come back up to standing. And have a little step forward. And have a little wiggle. Have a little circle of your hips. Maybe give yourself a little rub in the lower back. Just releasing that out. And then standing toward the back of your room. And then stand the other leg forward. So the other leg's coming forward. And you can start bending and stretching, allowing the weight to come into the back of the heels. Just working here. And notice what's comfortable for you. So as you bend and straighten, what feels good? Are you feeling like you're in balance? Are you feeling like you're out of balance? What do you need to do? Do you need to bring your foot a little bit further out? Do you need to turn one foot out so that you've got more of a width to work with? Just noticing that and allowing the weight to come into the back heel too. Standing up nice and tall, keeping that. So we're not allowing the body to come forward. We're standing up nice and tall. Feeling the weight into the heels. Good, lovely. Okay, and then bending the front knee, feel the weight into the back heels, bring the palms together. Breathing here. Good, lovely. Breathing in this position. Good, and then maybe seeing whether it feels okay to bring the arms out in front and turn the palms upwards. Good, lovely. Just being with that. And then coming all the way back. Placing the hands behind you, stretching the hands behind you. Maybe if you were holding on to one wrist, hold on to the other wrist. Legs, both legs straight now, and let your bottom go back. Good, letting the bottom come all the way back. Really nice. And then come back up to standing and step forward. Have a little wiggle, have a little walk. Wiggling around. Good. And then from here, we're going to see if we're okay coming back down to sitting. We're going to see if it's okay for us to sit holding onto the back of our thighs. Does that feel okay? And then from that position, can you lift your shoulders all the way up to your ears? And then can you release all the way back down again? So can you allow your shoulders to come all the way up to your ears? And then come all the way back down again. Good, lovely. All the way up to the ears. And back down again. And then can you bring your toes to the floor? So can you bring your toes to the floor? And then can you lift your toes off the floor? So can you lift the toes off the floor? Good. If you can't, you can keep the toes on the floor. You want to see if you can come into some kind of balance. And then bring your attention to your breathing. And if you've managed to take your feet off the floor, or even if they're still on the floor, see if you can close your eyes and feel that balance. Can you close your eyes and feel that balance? Good, lovely. And then can you release back down to the floor? Good. Okay, now you're going to see if you can draw one leg in, and can you lift the other leg up and stretch it away? This is quite strong, but can you lift one leg up and stretch it away? If you can't, you might be able to stretch it along the floor and bring it back. See if you can stretch it up to the sky and bring it back. And then can you hold on to the other side and stretch that up and bring it back. Good, lovely. And then come into a little bit of a hug. So allowing yourself to come into a little bit of a hug here. Good, lovely. Okay, so in that hug position, see if you can hold underneath the thighs. And breathe here. So feel the belly breathing into your thighs. So feeling the belly breathe into your thighs. That's it, good, lovely. Okay, so now you're going to allow yourself to come into a comfortable seated position. So I would suggest that if you've got a chair, you go and get a chair now so that you can sit on a chair. But you want to be really comfortably seated. So you're in a comfortable seated position. So if you've got a meditation stool, I think some of you have got meditation stools, then you can use your meditation stool. Ooh. Yeah, otherwise, yeah, if you're sitting on a sofa, I think that, can I see sofas? Then just make sure you can sit up nice and straight. So you might want to just sit a little bit away from the back so that you're really sitting with the back nice and strong. Good, lovely. Okay, so if it feels okay in this practice, then do it with your eyes shut. But otherwise, it's absolutely fine to have the eyes open. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be breathing from the pelvic floor up the front of the body to the top of the head. And then we're going to be breathing out down the back of the body back to the pelvic floor. So that's what we're going to imagine that's happening. It doesn't matter what's actually happening with the breath, it's just nice to imagine. If you like visualization, we can all visualize, because if I ask you to visualize, imagine an apple, you probably know whether it's a red or a green one. So we can use that, and we can imagine that we're painting a colour all the way up the front of the body and painting that colour all the way down the back. Okay? If it's comfortable to breathe through the nose, then do. If it's not, then breathe however you want to breathe. So bringing the attention to the breath now as you close your eyes, if that feels okay. So you're going to breathe in, imagine that you're drawing a line from the pelvic floor all the way up to the top of the head. And then imagine that you're painting that line all the way down the back again. So breathing in up the body, breathing out all the way back down. So allowing the breath to travel all the way up the body as you breathe in. And all the way back down with the out breath. You might also be able to listen to the sound of your own breathing as it travels up and down. So noticing the attention travel up the front of the body with the breath in, and down the back of the body with the out breath. Whatever rate your breath wants to travel in, that's completely fine. And if you're finding that this breathing practice isn't one that works for you, then you can pick another one that we've done. And choose that as an alternative. So allowing the attention to travel up from the pelvic floor all the way up to the top of the head with the breath in. And allowing it to travel all the way back down the back of the body with the breath out. So breathing in up the front and breathing out all the way down the back. If you find that the mind wanders, that's completely fine. Just be aware of whatever is happening in the mind. And then gently draw the attention back to the breath traveling up and down the body. If at any point it feels too much, you can just open the eyes. If you've chosen to paint a colour up and down the body, you might want to change the colour now. You might even, behind the closed eyes, want to trace the breath as it travels up and down. So allowing the eyes behind the closed eyes to travel too. If painting a colour doesn't work for you, then it can be nice to count. How many counts does it take to breathe all the way in? And how many counts does it take to breathe all the way back out again? Watching the breath as it travels up and down. Noticing at any point whether the mind wanders from the practice. And if it does, that's fine. Just have an awareness of any thought that's occurring. And then gently bring the attention back to the breath as it comes all the way in and all the way back out again. With the next out breath, let that practice go. If it feels okay to still keep the eyes closed, then do. And let the mind do whatever it wants to do. Let the breath do whatever it wants to do. So now, the mind has total freedom. The breath has total freedom too. And in this space, Allow the breath to do whatever it wants to do. And notice how you feel. So how do you feel now? And then place your hands over your eyes and blink the eyes open and bring your hands back to your lap. I'm just going to stop the recording for a moment that I'm going to send to Mindy. Do that. All right, I've just unpaused so that Mindy can enjoy the story too. So allow yourself to get settled and get as comfortable as you can possibly be, bringing your attention to your breathing. So allowing the breath to come all the way in and all the way back out. I'm just going to give everybody the opportunity to get into that comfortable lying down position. So the position that you want to be in is one where there's absolutely no need to move. So you feel really, really comfortable. So make any last adjustments now that you might need to make so that you feel really super, super comfortable. Yeah, if you need to put socks on, put socks on. I'm just going to wait until I can see that everybody's settled. And while everyone's settling down, you can bring your attention to your breathing. You can notice the breath comes all the way in and all the way back out. Just having an awareness of the rate of your breathing. And then once you're completely settled so that you need absolutely no movement at all, you can allow your attention to come to your heart and listen to this story. The Earth Mother, Demeter, had a beautiful daughter called Persephone, who was playing out in the meadow one day. Persephone came upon one particular lovely bloom, reached out her fingertips to cup its lovely face. Suddenly the ground began to shake and a giant zigzag ripped across the land. Up from deep within the earth charged Hades, the god of the underworld. He stood tall and mighty in a black chariot, driven by 4 horses the colour of ghost. Hades seized Persephone into his chariot, her veils and sandals flying. Down, down, down into the earth he reined his horses. Persephone's scream grew more and more faint as the rift in the earth healed over, as though nothing had ever happened. The voice of the maiden crying out echoed through the stones of the mountains, bubbled up in a watery cry from underneath the sea. Demeter heard the stones cry out. She heard the watery crying, and then over all the land came an eerie silence and the smell of crushed flowers. And tearing her wreath from her immortal hair and unfurling down from each shoulder her dark veils, Demeter flew out over the land like a giant bird, searching for, calling for her daughter. That night, an old crone at the edge of a cave remarked to her sisters that she had heard 3 cries that day. One, a youthful voice crying out in terror, and another calling plaintively, and a third, that of a mother weeping. Persephone was nowhere to be found, and so began Demeter's crazed and months-long search for her beloved child. Demeter raged. She wept. She screamed. She asked after, searching every land formation underneath, inside and atop, begging mercy, begged death, but no matter what, she could not find her heart child. So, she who had made everything grow in perpetuity cursed all the fertile fields of the world, screaming in her grief, die, die, die. Because of Demeter's curse, no child could be born, no wheat could rise for bread, no flowers for feasts, no bough for the dead. Everything lay withered and sucked at parched earth or dry breaths. Demeter herself no longer bathed. Her robes were mud-drenched, her hair hung in dreadlocks. Even though the pain in her heart was staggering, she would not surrender. After many askings, pleadings, and episodes, all leading to nothing, she finally slumped down at the side of a well in a village where she was unknown. And as she leaned her aching body against the cool stone of the well, along came a woman, a rather a sort of woman. And this woman danced up to Demeter, wiggling her hips in a way suggesting sexual intercourse, and shaking her breasts in her little dance. And when Demeter saw her, she couldn't help smile just a little. The dancing female was very magical indeed, for she had no head whatsoever, and her nipples were her eyes, and her vulva was her mouth. And through this lovely mouth, she began to regale Demeter with some nice juicy jokes. Demeter began to smile, and then chuckled, and then gave a full belly laugh. And together the two women laughed, the little belly goddess Baubo and the powerful Mother Earth goddess Demeter. And it was just this laugh that drew Demeter out of her depression and gave her the energy to continue her search for her daughter, which with the help of Baubo and the crone Hecate and the sun Helios was ultimately successful. Persephone was restored to her mother. The world, the land, and the bellies of women thrived again. Bringing your attention back to your body now. And as each part of the body is mentioned, imagine a golden light sitting there. Allowing a golden light to sit at the right hand thumb. First finger, second finger, third finger, fourth finger. A golden light in the palm of the right hand and the back of the right hand. A golden light at the wrist, forearm, upper arm, armpit and shoulder. Golden light sparkling all the way down the right arm and hand, all the way out down the right arm and hand. Allowing the sparkling light to sit at the right collarbone, the right breastbone, the right side of the waist, the right hip, thigh, knee, shin, calf, ankle. A sparkling golden light at the right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, little toe. Sparkling golden light all the way down the right side of the body, all the way down the right side of the body. A sparkling golden light at the left hand thumb, first finger, second finger, third finger and fourth finger. A sparkling light at the palm of the left hand and the back of the left hand. At the left wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, armpit and shoulder. The whole of the right arm and hand sparkling. The whole of the left arm and hand sparkling. The left collarbone, breastbone, side of the waist, hip, thigh, knee, shin, calf and ankle. The top of the left foot sparkling and golden light, the base of the left foot, the left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe and little toe. The whole of the left side of the body sparkling golden light, the pubic bone sparkling, the belly sparkling, the solar plexus golden and sparkling, pit of the throat, root of the tongue, the right cheek sparkling and golden, the left cheek, the tip of the nose, the space between the eyebrows and the top of the head, as though the entire body sparkling in golden light, sparkling in golden light. And then noticing that that golden light has turned to blue. So the whole body is sparkling in blue light now, blue sparkling light. And then that changes to silver, the whole body sparkling in silver light. And then allowing the lights to dim and the body to feel soft in a velvety darkness. A velvety darkness. And then allowing the golden light to re-emerge, the whole body becoming a golden light. And then allowing that golden light to turn into a velvety dark. And how would it be for the body to be golden and light and velvety dark at the same time? Golden light and velvety dark at the same time. And then letting that go. And becoming aware of a feeling of gentle softness. A feeling of gentle softness. As though the body is being rocked by the breath. A gentle softness, as though the body is being rocked by the breath. A rocking, a gentle rocking of the breath. And then allowing the attention to come to the breath at the nose. Noticing the breath entering the nostrils and leaving the nostrils. The feeling of the breath as it enters and leaves the nostrils. And as the attention comes to the nostrils, becoming aware of a sense of smell. And maybe imagining now the smell of freshly cut grass. Smell of freshly cut grass. The smell of clean, crisp air. The smell of clean, crisp air. The smell of your favorite flower. Your favorite flower. The smell of your favorite person. Does your favorite person have an aroma that comes with them? And then becoming aware of the smell that you can actually smell in the here and now. So maybe you can smell your own perfumes, soap, the smell of the detergent you use to wash your clothes. What can you smell now? And then letting that go. And bringing your attention to the here and now. As you breathe and lying in this room. And allow that gentle breath to become a little bit stronger and a little bit deeper. Allowing that breath to become a waking breath. So allowing that breath to become a waking breath. Allowing the breath to get stronger and deeper. And allow movement to start to come into your body now. Allowing yourself to start wiggling your fingers and wiggling your toes. Allow yourself to stretch. So imagine that you're waking up for the first time today and you've got time to stretch and be a really nice stretch, maybe a yawn. Waking up the body, waking up the mind, just having a really lovely stretch and be maybe bringing your knees into your tummy now, having a little bit of a rock from side to side. And allowing yourself to come up to a comfortable seated position. So let me know you're here. So maybe if seated means that I can't see you, just wave so I can see you. So I don't know whether, so I can see that, yeah, Edmund's up, Brian's up, Nick and Caroline. Yeah, I can see Hannah too. I wasn't sure about Hannah. Okay, you can sit back down again, Hannah, if you like. Okay, so I just wanted to let you know that the story that I told you is from this book called Women Who Run with Wolves. And the author of the book traveled around the globe and met people who had passed stories orally down from the generations. So some of the stories that she shares are stories that have been written down, and others are stories that haven't been written down. But the way that she did it is that she asked the stories to be told. And the reason why I shared this particular story is because it's about the earth goddess. And today's practice was connecting to Muladhara chakra, which is the root chakra connecting to the earth. So I felt that that was pertinent. And another reason why I shared it is because it's a really quite a dark story. It's a story about a mother who loses her daughter to the underworld and then has a really tough time trying to find it. But what brings her out of that situation is laughter and joy, and somebody just making her giggle, someone being really silly, telling jokes and making her giggle. And we are in times which are challenging for many of us, and if they're not challenging for us, and which I'm sure they are in some way, they will be challenging for friends and family around us. So recognizing that and knowing that the tonic of laughter can be an amazing thing. So giving ourselves, I think on the radio this morning, someone was talking about Victoria Wood and that she's gone back and watched all her Victoria Wood box sets because it's light and it makes her laugh. So I would encourage all of you to find the things that you can enjoy where you are and things that make you laugh. So I'm sure there's loads of YouTube videos of cats doing silly things, or there are loads of people who are out on YouTube trying to entertain us all. So find them and just find a way to laugh and giggle, and with your, you know, with whoever you can do that with. So that's kind of the theme of the Yoga Nidra, and hopefully you enjoyed some of the light as well, the golden light, the blue light, and the velvety black light that I brought into the practice as well. So I may send this out to you guys as well. I'm definitely going to send it out to Mindy so that she can have been part of the class. But if you want me to send it to you, I can send it to you as well. Okay, so we are going to close the class today with our chant of Om. So I'm going to unmute you all so that we can Om together. There we go. We're all unmuted. There we go. Oh, and I'm going to just stop the recording now because I don't want you to be seen by anyone on the recording. So I'm just going to stop that. Yeah.